name is Prakash. I'm from Chennai National University and presently I'm an intern at LEXCLIQ. In this video, we're going to talk about sedition and the legal provisions surrounding the offence. Now, under Article 19(1) of the Constitution, every citizen of India has the right to express themselves and say what they feel, and everybody is allowed to have a voice and their own opinion. But that's not completely unrestricted. It's restricted with the boundaries of the fact that you cannot say anything that is in a way threatening to the state. The restrictions of freedom of speech are given in Article 19 subsection 2, where we get the concept of sedition, where it says that it criminalizes the act of sedition under that the punishment for this offence and definition of this offence is given under section 124A of the Indian Penal Code, and where it says that any statement or any opinion or any kind of expression or speech made with the intention of threatening or being disloyal to the state of India, then it's gonna count as an offence and an offence of sedition. Now, what is sedition and what is the law of sedition? The term of sedition has been stated in section 124 4A, as I said. It says conduct or speech which results in injury against the authority of the state. It is considered as a reasonable restriction on the freedom of speech, and it was drafted by Thomas Mockney and introduced in 1870. Now, there are certain points that you can know of how sedition came into place, the origin of law for sedition. Origin of sedition law in India came forward, is connected to the Wahhabist movement in the 19th century, and it was an Islamic revivalist movement. And since 1830, the movement was active, but in the wake of 1857 revolt, it turned into an armed secession, jihad against the British. And now the British termed Wahhabis as rebels and carried out military operations against them. So that was the history. So as it's clear, the history of sedition starts from the British era, and at that time section 124A was not a part of IPC, but the section was inserted with the IPC Amendment Act 1870. The meaning of sedition under 124A of IPC actually states that whoever, by words either spoken or written, or by signs, or by visible representation or otherwise, brings or attempts to bring into hatred or contempt, or excites or attempts to excite dissatisfaction towards the government, shall be punishable with life imprisonment. Explanation to the section defines the scope of this affection, and in explanation 1 and 3 indicates what under the English law is not considered sedition. Now, what are the activities that come under the nature of sedition? Are any words written or expressed or spoken or by expressed by signs, must bring hatred, contempt, and threaten and dissatisfaction towards the Indian government. And third, must return an imminent voice or public order. These are the nature that act of sedition needs to have for a person or anybody to be liable under the offence under section 124A of the IPC. Now, why we need to discuss this and why people need to be aware about this? Because recently in this COVID era, because some people have voiced their opinion against the government and how the government handled the situation, there are many cases that have been brought up by the state government and the central government against these publications, saying that this comes under the act of sedition. But the High Court, the Supreme Court, the entire judicial system do not follow this opinion and actually say that just because you disagree with certain acts of the government and you point out your disagreement as an opinion openly, does not mean that you can be booked for sedition. and there is a clear line between actually threatening the system of government of Indian government and the Indian government itself, and voicing your opinion against certain acts that they follow. And everybody should be aware about it, and that is something that is it's the responsibility of the judiciary to keep these things in check and give this unrestricted power and make sure that this power is properly used by all the systems of